This is Jacob from BasinCheck. So I wanted to show you real quick like how the spillage prevention checklist looks like in our app. So all we got to do is go to Audits and create a new audit. And then we have a bunch of predefined templates. And obviously we go with for the spill prevention. Select the date, location, let's say, well, 18 Odessa, Texas. We can add notes if necessary. And then we create the audit, right? And it comes up just as a regular checklist. However, depending on the use case, if you prefer, we can add like mandatory no-goes. So a worker needs to actually submit a specific step in order to unlock the next ones. It's fairly editable. As I mentioned, I'm the main engineer, so we can leave it open. We can also add a non-applicable step in case there isn't like a clear yes-no logic. And then what's more, whenever there's a no-go, like non-conformity mentioned, you can add either notes or additionally on top of that, photos. Works really well with mobile devices because all you need to do is just snap a photo of it. What's most important is that you can also save drafts. So if this is a lengthy audit to go through, and there's breaks, meetings, and so on and so forth, some other industries also have that. The worker can just save the draft, do other things, and then come back and complete it. Obviously, we have PDF exports just to have it also on file. Going back to the option of running like a server-based checklist, like that's a completely valid idea. However, one thing that I think is coming quite in handy is that every single failed audit item is automatically turned into a corrective action. So we call them issues. So basically here's just an example of one of the failed items. And then what you can see here is the specific corrective action that is generated from the failed audit item. And you have also the view of the originating audit. And then basically you can choose and assign any sorts of personnel from your team to actually get this corrective action across the finish line. And then obviously you can track the statuses of either open, pending, or completed. What you can also do, we have a lot of customizable logic here. So if a worker wants to complete the corrective action, we can ask for resolution notes and photo evidence, right? So we basically want to avoid any sorts of like pencil whipping, done, completed, but there is no like feasible proof of the completion. So that's why I kind of put an emphasis on making sure that people can actually submit completion notes and photo evidence. So all in all, the result of that is that potentially you could have access and the visibility, like a bird's eye view of all of the crews, all of the locations, and which sort of audit at which location is completed or not, and basically any sorts of stemming corrective actions out of that. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, then shoot me an email. Obviously, if your preference is to just stick with the spillage prevention checklist, we can change the access levels for the workers. So they basically just see the audits feature, and then optionally, depending on how do you prefer, maybe like JSAs, if this isn't handled already in any other system. And then obviously, depending on how would you prefer, we can turn it off those features. It's pretty flexible in terms of the access architecture as well as the features. My objective is to make sure that potentially for you guys, we have a properly tailored workflow. Like I don't want to force you to have to adapt to a specific tool. I would prefer mimicking your current workflow and just making it simple and providing you guys with more EPA and potentially OSHA defensibility if needed. Okay, so that's it. Let me know what you think. Thanks.